2.3.2 is out, but remains a work in progress over at Paradox, so more on that in a few seconds. We have neighbors that do not like us, so building a fleet to defend our territory is a must, and our original leader, Takarlith, is literally in a race against her own mortality to research some alien specimens that are all over the place. Hello, Legion, it's Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Stellaris Ancient Relics in our Legacy of the Forerunners series. We're going to keep working on 2.3.x. In particular, we are aware of some issues with pre-sapience overflows and an energy deficit bug. We'll get fixes for those out as soon as we can, but given that 2.3.2 is overall a much better version than 2.3.1, we want to make it a part of the live build while we keep working on the remaining issues. That is a paragraph from the top of the release notes for the 2.3.2 patch. I know that the series Legacy of the Forerunners has been on a bit of a break. When I came back from a weekend away, I noticed that some of the notes on 2.3.1, some of the comments were particularly worrisome, and given that we had this potential negative situation coming up, I decided to put the series on pause, and I kind of assumed, based on some of the things I was hearing, that the patch would come out a little bit quicker. So my bad in a way, because I committed myself to waiting for a patch that actually took over a week to release. But at the same time, the patch has released, and we are back into daily content in Stellaris. So, what do we have going on? We've got to kind of review our situation. It's been a while since I've played, and it's been a while since you guys have watched an episode. Some of you, anyway. Those of you, like I often say, watching in the backlog, you have no idea what I'm talking about right now. But just so I can cater to the live audience for a minute here, we have a construction ship in Theramora that can probably do more in a moment, but before I give any orders involving influence, I need to see what else I can do. So you're working on Rhizor mining stations. What are you doing? You're heading out to build in Galaman. I feel like... Okay, and we do have a construction ship in Zondaban. Good. We need to lock down all of this territory as quickly as possible. We do have room for more star bases. And it looks like we have alloys with which to build on our... Let's see. Yeah, we have alloys with which to build on our existing starbases. So I think what I'd like to do, once Zondaban has been brought into the fold, which we're about to do, we're going to do a defensive station there. But on top of that, I would like to go ahead, I think, what do we have in Evermarcus? We don't have the Starhold technology yet, but I want to get another station built somewhere that can help me produce ships. So perhaps in the Asterope system. Yeah, that might be a good idea. Let's do one in the Asterope system and queue up a new station there. And let's take a look at what's going on our various colony worlds as well as we get reacquainted with the series. We have the world of Athesa. Let's go ahead and close out planets. We're going to have the sector map mode open. Athesa is an industrial world and currently building an energy grid to boost our energy production, because we do have an energy deficit issue and a consumer goods issue as well. So that can be resolved by building some additional... Let's see how close are we to getting some... All right, good. So we're going to have more room here to build another civilian industries on Merida. And then Campira, of course, is our problem colony. If you've forgotten, we have this lovely visitor, Shard, a new version of an ether drake in an aggressive stance hanging out over Campira. Campira is doing okay as far as growing as a colony and providing resources for our empire in order to, contribute to the same way the other colonies are doing. But we can't get ships anywhere near it right now, given the giant space dragon in orbit. So Task Force Campus is currently moving around. We actually have Task Force Campus heading over to the... What was the name of this? It's the Ransomers chain. Yes, they're down here. So I'm going to kind of hope that nothing goes down with our neighbors.
Anomaly found.
My main justification for taking the series on a break is that we have these aggressive neighbors, and the main issue that I was noting with the patch was that there were issues with armies. And I was like, man, if we get into a war right now, and there's a bug related to combat and planetary conquest, that's really going to kind of wreck my day with the series. That was the whole reason that I said, let's pause for a moment. All right, the surface of this asteroid is littered with metallic debris. Most of it appears to originate from starships of many different designs. Where's this? This is in the Unaria system down here. Go ahead and research that, please. And we do, as I mentioned, have some other planets that I want to lock down. But before I do anything with influence down in this direction, we want to keep going up here where we can. It's good to be back playing Stellaris again. I know that break was unusually long after it had already been a while since I'd played the game. So sorry for throwing everyone for a loop. It threw me for a loop too. I didn't expect the patch to take that long. All right, so we've researched the ability to build the Fleet Academy and Naval Logistics Office. That'll come in handy as well. Why don't we... Ooh, terraforming. Ooh, terraforming. Yeah. Let's go ahead and go for that. It's going to take 29 months. Looks like a few edicts have expired, but we do have the energy to re-up them, so let's get that done. Interesting. Diplomatic grants. Could that potentially help us with the Lozavata stellar hegemony? I mean, I doubt it. They don't like us at all, especially since we rivaled them, you know. Tends to put a damper on relationships, but we needed the influence, so sue me. So let's go for map the stars. Let's do that. And then it looks like this starbase is finally being constructed. These mining stations are being built as well. Let's go ahead and step up to speed 3 for the moment, but we might jump right back down to speed 2. I was joking in the Surviving Mars episode that went live earlier today that speed 2 and 3 are kind of the same thing. It's a little bit worse than Stellaris because things can really come flying at you at speed 3 as we've seen in this series. But, you kind of hang out on speed 2 and 3 in those games because speed 1 can be painful. This asteroid was evidently used as a junkyard by someone at some point in the distant past. All manner of discarded machinery and metallic refuse has been deposited inside the asteroid's weak gravity well, being slowly pulled into the jumble of debris that now covers the surface. There's nothing of particular value to be found here, but a lot of the metal could be salvaged by a mining station. We should recycle what we can. Alright, so it's a little bit far away to use that. Oh, nice! We got an L-gate insight from somewhere near Vadris. Now, speaking of our original leader, let's see what she's up to. Talk Arlith is currently leading... Alright, so she's excavating the archaeological site, but she's going to be running around checking out a lot of this stuff before long. We have the Insidious Sneerin. Yeah, as soon as she's done, we're going to have her jump on all that.
Construction project concluded.
Because these science ships have more important things to do. Alright, so you have nothing to do now. Why don't you go ahead and get the Rathador system? Well, get that mining station first. We need the energy. Part of the issue with our energy deficit is the fact that Task Force Campus is out and about running around. Let's take a quick look. Now, we've definitely set up some destroyers. Let's go to our fleet manager and see what else we can do here. We could increase the number of corvettes in the fleets, for sure. And we could go ahead and improve the number of destroyers. I'll tell you what, let's make it... Yeah, let's see what our destroyers... The Itreldur are the main ones. Okay. There we go. All right, so now we're at our command limit, but at least I can go ahead and give the order to reinforce the fleet and have a few more ships being built up. Of course, our brand new station that we have going here, which is still 200 days away, 210 days away, will need a shipyard to really help produce ships.
Research concluded.
Sensors report a shipwreck of unidentified origin has been sighted in orbit of Unaria. Look into it, please. Fusion missiles, good. Gas extraction wells, Starhold. Yeah, let's go ahead and look into the Starhold. We're going to need that. Okay, why don't you go ahead and upgrade now? Our sensors indicate odd irregularities in Bralik's energy emission pattern. Research, please. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, good. That wasn't Talk Arlith. Feldrum Den Peloche has died at the age of 85. The Charmadarian canceled its auto-exploration order because, well, it has no scientist. So the Charmadarian, you need... Aha! Kunreg Den Harak. Leader experience gain plus 25%. Yes, please. There's that. And you're on auto-explore, are you? Well, get back to it, please. All right, Talk Arlith is done with the archaeological site, so let's see what ended up happening here. We found 20 minor artifacts. One last log has been found and translated. Oh yeah, here we go. Patrol log. Officer Gilgam detected crashed vessel on 5523X. Moved to investigate. Vessel identified as the Ravenk, a Class P modular freighter. A single survivor in critical condition, oh god, was recovered from the wreckage. Identity confirmed as PIRVAX. PIRVAX lived. That's amazing. Botswain's mate. Oh my god, that's hilarious. After all the stuff PIRVAX has been through, PIRVAX is the only survivor. After he became a religious figure. Remaining crew either perished in crash or turned on each other shortly before our arrival. As per standard protocol, I'm leaving this log here and registering the Ravenk as a protected gravesite and recording. Curious. Okay, so hang on. Let me remember my hotkeys here. Okay, it's F8. I started at F7 and started going backward. That's why that didn't work. All right, so we have 60 minor artifacts now. We can discover precursor. Ooh, we can just use artifacts to uncover precursor insights. That's amazing. Also, we can get more energy back if we need it. And we kind of do in order to have solid liquidity, right? How much do we need? At least 5,000 stored at all times. So... oh yeah, this is super easy. Okay, so there's that. Let's go ahead and discover a precursor insight as well, because how far are we? We've only uncovered one First League artifact. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and do one more.
Situation log updated.
Zarok 4A, we should investigate this. So there's one there. There's actually a lot for this guy to do, so why don't we go ahead and queue up a few orders. Let's research that. I want you to come straight back first of all and do that. But then there's a few others, so look into that, please. Okay, so I've just given a little bit of a convoluted chain of commands there, but all right, this is our original leader. The ravenous Zulkor is here, so why don't you go ahead and research that, and then come and research that, and then come and research that. Interesting that it's not showing... oh yeah, the starbase has been destroyed, so we do have a colony in this system, but it doesn't look like it from outside. We totally do, though. It's just odd that it shows that way. We had that colony starting in the Abramakis system. That's good. All right, the Vile Orinthi. Not to be confused with the Oranathi, who we're currently playing as. Wreckage identified. Our crew aboard the ISS Timdor report that the Unaria shipwreck appears to have been the result of an unexpected geomagnetic solar storm. The supply ship suffered a complete loss of life support systems and sustained inoperable damage, drifting until it entered Unaria's gravity well. There are no survivors. The ship's cargo hold does indeed contain a notable amount of minerals. However, the captain of the ISS Timdor cautions that the construction indicates Lazavatan design. It is highly likely that the minerals belong to the Lazavata stellar hegemony, and they may be displeased should we lay claim to their shipment. We could steal the minerals, but I think what I'd rather do is increase influence. We will not risk an altercation. That way... Right, the ISS Jamdur was unable to build a starbase in Rathador. Why not? Oh, because I didn't have the minerals for it. That's fine. There's a lot going on. We're building additional ships.
Construction project
This
concluded.
upgrade is 90 days away.
Construction project concluded.
The music track you're about to enjoy will never ever get old. Oranathi, we have received word of our down supply ship's cargo. We would like to extend our gratitude to you for taking the time to recover it without the need for Lazavatan intervention. Our pleasure, Lazavatai. So that has given us 100 influence, which is very nice for building things, shall we say. You go ahead and go there. But that research station is almost done. And that means we can definitely continue to expand out this direction. We just don't have the alloys for it right now. Give it a second, and we will.
Warning. We are subject to a declaration of war. Research
Son of a...
concluded.
We literally just did something nice for you. And we're not quite ready for this yet. Crap. All right, we're seconds away from being done with this. This is a declaration where they just want to humiliate us. So they're not trying to conquer us at all. This is exactly what I was worried about. All right, so let's try and get you up to Zondervan ASAP. I would really like there to be a station here to fight, but are your upgrades not done yet? Let's get you in order. Hang on. Stop everything you're doing. Upgrade. And then move here. And then Beauregard is currently not following us around. God knows why. Beauregard, you need to... Oh, I probably, when I was given the patrol order, gave him orders independently. All right, so... All right. It's on now. We have a consumer goods issue. Let's go ahead and build civilian industries here to try and mitigate that bit.
Construction
That's frustrating.
project concluded.
Literally just did something nice for them. Good. The task force has been fully repaired. We are upgrading most of the ships. Oh, new research options. Let's see. Energy credits from technicians plus 20%. Probably a good idea, but you know what's even better? More research alternatives.
System survey concluded.
Is there anything I can do? I have a lot of influence right now. Anything I can do to boost research grants? Probably a good idea. Let's do that. I know we need to influence to add systems as well, but given what just happened, it's like I'm just going to do everything
Construction
I possibly can.
project concluded.
All right, why don't we go ahead and bring you back, because you're just going to get fried. That science ship needs to run as well. All right, so we are finishing, presumably, the last ship
Construction
upgrade.
project concluded.
And then we
Fleet
have...
enhancement
All
supplied.
right, they are on the way. It's going to take over a year for them to arrive.
Anomaly found.
The debris field, which GF 53951 is part of, roils and swirls under the influence of unknown forces. Leave be for now. But we need to keep an eye on you. All right, so you build a shipyard. For the love of God, build a shipyard. All the additional ships we've ordered will come out a lot quicker if we can get that shipyard up and running.
Construction project concluded.
Whether it will be enough to stop
System
this
survey
attempt to
concluded.
humiliate me is another question. But if we can get up to Zondervan, cross your fingers. See, this stops our ability to respond to the ransomeers, which means we'll probably lose that, which will give us a happiness penalty. That's part of the reason I was like,
Special project concluded.
All right. Zolkor are swarming insected analogs, usually unusual both for their large size and the fact that they are lithivores, feeding off rocks and minerals in the ground. One of the shuttles belonging to the ISS Tellurian sustained serious damage when it inadvertently passed through a large swarm, and several Zolkors began to feed on its hull. The construction of the special containment facilities required to hold these creatures has already begun at the Museum of Exobiology on Neldladris. Excellent. Okay, so that gives us a little bit of additional... I'm still not used to not having a hotkey, as you can see there, for research options. So we're 5 months away from finishing our terraforming options. And it looks like we can build an additional shipyard, so let's freaking do it. Okay, new tradition. Okay, well this introduces an interesting choice. Do we want to have supremacy so that we have stronger weapons, prosperity so that we have more energy coming in, mining station output immediately increased by 10%? I feel like prosperity is probably the better choice. But if we're going to have to defend ourselves, army damage increased by 20. You know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and go for supremacy. We're in an unexpected war. We want to make sure that with our aggressive neighbors, okay, let's go ahead and set our war goal to humiliate them. And just hope that we can get up to the Zondervan system in time. We're also... Beauregard is following us. This is an interesting turn of events. One of the many moons circling Theramore 6 has a terminal orbit. It will soon collide with a gas giant in what is sure to become a massive impact event. This event has been millions of years in the making, and it is a startling coincidence that the impact has been fated to occur just after a visit by one of our ships. Many of our scientists wish to observe and record the event, but we only have a narrow window before it's too late.
Situation log
Observe
updated.
moon impact. Let's have a quick look here. You're a skilled scientist. Observe it. Get it done. Meanwhile, where are you, Tuck Arleth? She's still looking into... Actually, you know what? Why don't you go ahead and research that anomaly, since you're so close. Ships are closing in on Zondaban. I'm starting to get optimistic.
Concluded. System survey concluded.
All right, we can't afford to reinforce the fleet at the moment.
System survey concluded.
We do have room, however, for an additional base. If I were to let things build up a little bit farther, we might be able to upgrade the starport there. All right, terraforming research is complete. That tile blocker research needs to be completed, but we also need better fleet command limit. We probably need that sooner. So let's get that underway. Nelvadris needs, it looks like you need to go ahead and build an additional generator district. And then Merida has some housing issues, which I can fix by building, well, really anything. Hang on, it doesn't have to be a city district. But we need more amenities here, so yeah, let's do that. All right, we need to keep an eye on these guys.
Anomaly found.
Sensors pick up unusual readings in the vicinity of Uracannon's maw. Readings that are hard to explain being this close to a black hole. So, yeah. Let's figure out why. All right, I'm starting to get a little bit more optimistic here.
Construction project concluded.
All right, not seeing anyone coming in, and we are very close now. All right, I want to reinforce the fleet, but I also want to see if I can get a station up and running.
Special project concluded.
We were successful in our attempt to record the collision between Theramore 6 and its moon. The event was captured from several different angles and transmitted live throughout our space. Most importantly, our scientists, under the leadership of Durham Den Vagors, were able to record a large amount of valuable physics data that will surely benefit our research. Marvelous. Let's go. Let's not be distracted by the fact that we need to keep an eye on this stuff. Okay, awesome. The main fleet is moving into Zondaban, and it does not appear that there's an enemy presence nearby just yet. So here's what we're going to do. You are going to hang out here. I would love to hit the reinforced fleet button, but the first thing we need to do is upgrade you to a starport. And that's going to happen right... Oh, wait, hang on. Yeah, one more month. The ISS Tellurian finds a disturbing tangle of technology hidden in a deep crater on the asteroid's surface. Evidently, someone has, with rather simple means, managed to stabilize a one-way wormhole, and Science Officer Talk Arleth quickly asserts that the asteroid is the exit point. The other end opens up somewhere in the uncharted space some light years away from a black hole, and small quantities of dark matter are leaking, being siphoned through the wormhole. Whoever set this up seems to have abandoned the operation. Fascinating. So we found a dark matter deposit in our territory in Rysar. That is lovely. Talk Arleth just researched that for us. Beauregard is on his way to support us. Can we? No, we can't assign a leader to Beauregard. That would be amazing if we could. The readings originate from a small metal pod. Science Officer Penderm Denadazga has determined it to be a lifeboat of ancient and alien make. Evidently caught in the outskirts of the black hole's gravity well eons ago, at an angle just short of a slingshot maneuver. Whether this was the intent or happenstance is difficult to judge, and the pod's automated thrusters have been fighting its descent to the event horizon ever since. It is now too close to the horizon to salvage. Pender Benedazga's report ends abruptly, and the crew of the ISS Timdor communicate that the science officer appears shaken and deeply troubled by the tragic fate of the lifeboat. Understandable. So Pender Benedazga now has the paranoid trait. What does that mean again? Nothing I haven't seen before, but... Oh, man. I feel like I probably need to go ahead and just fire Penderm. Yeah, let's recruit you instead. And then Penderm. Is there not a hotkey for leaders? No, there's not. All right, we're going to dismiss you. Sorry, Penderm, you're 81. You're a little bit old. A little bit too much to deal with, unfortunately. So,
construction project concluded.
All right, so we could jump into their territory and do a little bit of damage to them, but the first thing I would like to do, as I mentioned, is get that starport upgraded. We're also 25 minutes into this episode, so I'm going to stop this one here. This is a good breathing point because we haven't seen any of their fleets arrive yet. But they are technically winning the war at the moment, so we're probably going to have to make a move. We might have to wait for reinforcements to do so, but if we can get that station built while defending it, that's 171 combat power, 1.5k here. We might be able to build a few more ships. We might even be able to get some additional alloys in production. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on that and do the best that we can. Also, the Asterope Station definitely needs some buildings that, like the Fleet Academy, for future ship construction. But for now, I'll stop this episode here. In the next one, we are going to see what happens with our Lozavadan War. Even though we just helped them, still bitter about that. And then once that's resolved, see if we can lock down the remaining territory we were interested in and continue our tall playthrough of Stellaris Ancient Relics. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every day at 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. And yes, that is true. Again, the break was unintentionally long. I didn't know that the patch would take this long to arrive, but it's here. It's here now, so we're back. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.